This is a bit of garden hose reel maintenance. So if you find that your hose goes brittle like this here, you see it's breaking, and it's on a Cocraft hose reel, my advice would be just buy a new hose reel. But what I thought I'd do is replace the hose on the reel. And this is just the standard cheap hose that you get. You can get very nice, highly, well, longer lasting hose than this. You can get a yellow coloured garden hose, which has got a greater lifetime. But I thought I'd just try and replace it. Anyway, it's on the reel, and the way I've attached the hose onto the reel is, as I got nearer to the centre of the reel, it was a little less brittle, so I've just reconnected the hose with a, so you can see down there the white bit. So instead of having to unplumb everything, I've just used an inline connector to attach this to the end of that hose. The other complication is you've got quite a coiled spring in here, which is a return spring, and it saved having to I don't know, deal with having to recoil the spring. However, connecting to the tap, well, where's the piece I've taken out of there? Can't talk to you about it. The bit that swivels, this turns, and the fixed piece of hose comes out of there. I've moved it somewhere. Hold on a moment. Okay, so this is the end of the piece that connects to the outside tap, runs from there. So that's the swivel part, and when that's in there, it's held in by a couple of pieces at the side which slide in into that groove there to hold that in place. And these rubber seals, fortunately, look to be in pretty good condition. I might put a bit of silicone oil on them, but what I've got to do, you see that these slide in and they lock it in. So when you open this up, you find a load of screws holding this end down, screws holding these pieces in there, so quite a lot. And when they're freed off, you can take that out. A bit of messing about now, because I'm going to have to remove this, attach a piece of new hose, and you see if I can, well, put a clamp, a normal clamp onto it, because I'm not going to be able to do the crimping thing that's done there, such that where the screw is, it's not going to be fouling anything in particular. New hose pipe. It looks like just in this section of hose pipe they'd inserted a spring, which presumably was to stop it bending too sharply at that point there. So whether or not I try and do something with that spring, I don't know. It looks like I might have damaged it, breaking off the sheared piece. So yeah, so the next tricky bit is removing this and then finding a way of attaching a new piece of pipe to it. It doesn't matter if you've damaged the old hose pipe or the brass ferrule seal thing, but you don't want to damage this plastic component. So a screwdriver hammered under there will open up the brass, and then a good pair of cutters, and if you tear down, well, it's not clamped up tightly enough, but you can tear this down gradually, and that should get you close to getting it undone. So there we go. I've managed to tear down there and break that off, so that takes that crimped end apart. I just need to now attach a new piece of hose pipe and decide whether or not I put some of that spring inside it. Now, because the the garden hose is old and brittle, I'm applying a little bit of heat. A hot gun, an electric heat gun, would be much better than this. It's a bit vicious using a flame, but I've not got the heat gun to hand, so I'll use this. I'll be careful. Well, a good little Jubilee clip should replace the ferrule. I've not tightened it up yet until I've inserted this part into there. I was going to put some silicone oil onto that first, and then I'll start clamping it up. So a bit of silicone grease onto the O-rings. I want to get access to the screw head on that, and then I can clamp that up. I'm going to attach this together first before I fully tighten the Jubilee clip. Well, I've stripped the threads, not the threads on the screws itself, but these are self-tapping screws into plastic. Some are tight. I'm not going to over tighten them because that would definitely strip it. Others have just twisted beyond what I thought. But fortunately, I mean, this is all to hold the pressure of the water on this rotating part, so this doesn't burst apart. That here, these plastic or nylon parts are pushed into the sides of this. Yeah, this isn't rotating, is it? It's a bit below it that must rotate. Oh well, whatever. But they're pushed into it, and you can see there's a plastic bridge across there, so the pressure is held by part of the plastic, and there's 3 screws through there to hold that end. So that should hopefully hold the pressure. I did put the spring in, so I don't know, I think it comes to about there. And as I say, I didn't go all the way to the center of the reel. I used the inline connector. So that's it. So that is my small attempt to rebuild, or not rebuild completely, but to put a different garden hose into the Cocraft hose reel, so I can get some more life into it. That doesn't go quite in because of the screw of the Jubilee clip, but it's in far enough. I'll let you know how that goes on. Well, the full pressure of water is on. I've got the slight drip from the back of the tap, which I did know about, and from the top of the tap, but nothing, well, that's not where I'm worried about the repair. Nothing pouring out here, and nothing dripping out from the hose reel anywhere, so it looks like it's sealed all the way through. Let's see if the water gets through. Where's my end here? Let's take this off here and put it onto there. There we are, that's a hose reel working. A good flow of water through there, and it extends out of there nicely. Well, I don't want water everywhere. Turn the tap off, and now just want it to recoil back into the reel. I don't need to go any further than that. Functional. Let's see how long that lasts. It works for now.